Thank you, Evan and Bernie. We're here with Dan Kottlowski, and we're going to talk more about our hurricane forecast. Something unique to our forecast is that we actually forecast areas of the U.S. that will be impacted. So which areas are we concerned about this year?
Well, this year is going to be a really tough year to probably break that down so early in the season. We think that probably early in the season, probably through June, July, there may be a little bit better chance of seeing development in the Western Caribbean and probably in the Gulf of Mexico, which could impact any Gulf coastal areas anywhere from Brownsville to Florida. Then we think as we get later in the season, obviously all of Florida and probably up through the southeast U.S. along the eastern seaboard will be vulnerable. The thing about this year, it's unique, is the fact there's no really strong climate signals which really give us a real good sense as to how the actual patterns going to unfold. Certainly the one feature we look at is the position of high pressure in the Atlantic, and that high pressure area is expected to be positioned south of where it normally is, which means development should occur in the southern part of the basin during the early part of the season. But then usually what happens is the high tends to work its way back northward again during the latter part of the season. That's the reason why we kind of think the season again will break out probably in the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico first this year.
And what about Sandy ravaged areas from last year? Do we think the East Coast could be hit again?
Well, again, the East Coast could be hit again, but keep in mind Sandy made a left turn into the coastal areas. For a storm to do that, it was highly unusual, so it'd be unlikely that we'd see an exact replicate of what we saw with Sandy. However, more likely would be the scenario that a storm could develop off the East Coast or move up the East Coast and bring those areas certainly some storm surge, and also could bring them some wind. So certainly those areas could be vulnerable to another impact, but nothing probably like Sandy though.
Thanks, Dan. I know that's what's on everyone's minds, which areas will be impacted this year during the hurricane season. Jillian McMath is going to talk to someone about which areas are rebuilding from Sandy and how the progress is coming along.